Hello and welcome to the Sons of Vidya podcast.
I want more energy off the top.
This is your best friend, D Marx, filling in for Tom C., who could not join us this week. Filling in my seat, the D Marx seat, is, of course, Tom C.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back.
You remember me from last week?
Guys,
Still here.
Guys, just to let you know, this is a slightly special podcast because Tom and I have a whole lot of Easter candy we're going to be eating. Oh, yeah.
Remember that holiday, guys?
It's so good.
This is an Easter-themed podcast in that we're going to talk about Easter and eat Easter candy the whole time.
Oh.
That's sort of like a theme, right?
Tom, just how many jelly beans I have in my mouth?
A handful?
I don't know.
Oh, no one's going to want to listen to that, man. Ugh. I don't want to listen to it. I'm right here.
Oh, boy. Love jelly beans.
Okay, jelly beans aren't even that good.
I love jelly beans.
We're going to make a separate podcast called Sons of Candia, and then we're all going to talk about what Easter candy is the best. This top 10 go right now.
I'm going to say peanut butter eggs.
Correct.
Then I'm probably going to say the jelly beans.
Jelly beans, false. Well, Easter candy or regular candy?
Easter candy.
Okay, maybe.
And then I'm going to say...
Take back that false.
Okay, then I'm probably going to say...
Going a little slow. Cadbury eggs even on that list?
See, Cadbury eggs are just a little too sweet for me.
A little too much.
Yeah.
That's fair.
He's like...
We're going to get an email from the Cadbury people.
Oh, sorry. Let me try that again. Okay, here it goes. You got peanut butter eggs. Then you got Peeps, second.
Peeps deserve it.
Yeah. Then third, jelly beans.
Still missing two there, though. I'm going to say peanut butter eggs deserve the top spot.
They're on my top spot.
You only give three.
Yeah, why?
I thought it was top five. We usually do top fives.
You asked me for top 10. I don't even think there's 10 Easter candies.
I'm fairly confident I did top five, and I think you're going to be shocked when you listen to it, because now we're recording this.
Okay.
Anyway, so you guessed it, everybody. Today's theme is Minigames.
Yeah.
And side stuff in games.
We're taking a little departure from our normal Easter candy podcast.
Yeah. That... What?
And talking about video games, side quests, and minigames.
Well, not even like that, but like, just, is that what you think people want to hear? We're just doing the thing. Oh, boy. It's a weird week for you.
Sorry, dude.
We're recording unusually late in the week, listeners.
You asked me to do the intro.
That is not true.
You asked.
You demanded.
You got down on your...
You took me to court about this. You're like, I'm doing the intro. The judge was like, this is not even admissible to court. We were in court for a different thing.
Yeah, that's true. I kind of brought it up because I was like, Judge...
You're like, Judge, since we're here...
While we're here, can we get this settled? And he was like, no, that is not the way the system of law works.
And so that somehow ended up with you doing it, which we can all agree is the weakest intro we've ever had.
That's not true.
I also don't agree with that.
Thank you.
Because I don't remember all our intros.
That is our saving grace.
Anyway, so yeah, we just want to talk briefly. Here's the deal. Lately we've been playing Red Dead Redemption again. Both of us.
Herp derp redemption.
And it's a great game.
It's a great game.
But the thing about it is, we end up spending way more time on mini-games than we do in the actual game.
Mini-games, meaning poker.
Yeah. We're not even like hardcore poker guys. We occasionally play with friends.
It's true.
But we play that mini-game for hours and hours on end, so it made us think, what are our favorite mini-games and side stuff in games?
And like, I was thinking about this when we had talked about it before. Like, gambling is such an easy one because everybody likes to gamble, especially when they know they're not going to lose money. So in games like Red Dead, New Vegas, I'm assuming they have them in Grand Theft Auto. That would be a safe assumption.
I don't know that I've only played like 4, but I don't know.
Well, games that have gambling in it. I mean, that's such an easy thing because, like I said, everyone loves gambling, especially when they know they're not going to lose their own money.
There's actually gambling in Saints Row 2. Remember that? There's like one casino that had...
Yeah, but wasn't that like video poker or something like that?
It was, I think it was roulette. Or not roulette, slots.
Oh,
I don't know, but there's gambling in every game.
Yeah, so I mean...
There's even gambling in Pokemon.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is neat. Also, nobody ever did it because it took way too long to get anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I want a Porygon. That'll be 16 hours of winning only.
No, the thing about Pokemon is, like, Pokemon to me, and this is a little off topic, Pokemon was kind of just one big mini game.
That's not true.
It was a little bit, because you always had that kind of... Okay,
I don't agree with this point. I know what you're going to say, I don't agree with it.
Pokemon could be a mini game for a larger game.
That's true.
That's
but
what
you
I'm
do see
saying.
a lot of things like that. Actually, that's going to bring me possibly my favorite side thing of all games, or mini game. And no one's going to have guessed it.
Oh, I think I know what it is. Can I guess it?
No.
Please?
No one's going to guess it.
But I want to guess it. I think I know what
fine.
it is. Okay, is it the Outer Ops missions in...
No! Good guess, though.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. But,
No, it's
okay,
something
go
I
ahead.
spent a very large amount of time on when I was a youngster. And that is Sonic Adventure 2's Chow Garden. Where you'd raise these little guys, you'd make them into like cool demon or angel ones, and it would take a ton of time, and you just had to end up redoing levels a bunch to get animals and like power-ups. But it was so much fun, and I used to do it all the time. Hours and hours of my life on something that some developer was like, this might be cool.
Well, I mean, just look at the success of the Nazi zombies thing. The developers,
That's true.
The developers of Treyarch were just like, "Oh, just toss it on there," and then it was like the most popular thing from Call of Duty ever.
That is such a great minigame, too.
It is, and like everybody loves it, like a whole lot.
Like, okay, here's a little aside. Why couldn't that be a full game?
Why couldn't that be a full game?
Because, like, you got great minigames, but would it be tiring if that was the full game?
See, I mean, the thing of it is, like, you and I get, we can only do 1 or 2 levels of zombies before we get tired of it.
That's because it takes, like, hours and hours when we do it.
Well, yeah.
For most people, they probably play, like...
Because we're so good.
They're probably like, let's play this level, and then they lose after, like, 3 waves.
Oh, here's something where I spent a lot of time, and this is not talking about Call of Duty.
We're past that now. That's in the past now.
It just popped into my head. A place I spent a lot of time in a game was the Golden Saucer
That's a good
in
call.
Final Fantasy VII.
That's a good call.
Because that was full of mini games. You had
Snowboarding.
the sub-game for pros.
I think you meant to say snowboarding.
I said sub-game, and I
Sorry
meant
for
it.
coughing, everybody.
I said sub-game, and I meant it. Because sub-game was tons of fun.
Yeah.
Also, to a lesser extent, chocobo breeding was a mini game.
That's true. I would accept that as a
Yeah.
side thing. That
Yeah.
wasn't the main story. Here's something that we're past your thing now. Here's a dumbest
We're already
thing,
done. Get out of the way.
dumbest thing ever, but I loved it and played it for hours, even though it was really, really stupid. Surfing Pikachu in Pokemon Yellow.
See, I never had Pokemon Yellow, so I
God,
never
that
played
was
Surfing
fun though.
Pikachu.
I ended up just hacking or getting a Game Shark or whatever and getting that, and it's the only reason I kept Pokemon Yellow because I just loved it. All you did was you had a Pikachu and you did a backflip. There was no work to it.
There was a Pikachu, and then there were also
Hours
backflips.
and hours of backflips.
Guys, we're looking at the backflip charts, and they are off the
It
charts.
was so much fun for no reason. I don't even remember how you lost it, but God, did I play that forever. Oh, man. You got tons of stuff like that. And the thing is, me and D... By the way, we didn't say our names. Wait, we did.
We totally did.
Nice. We're way ahead of it. Me
See,
and
you
D
said it was
are
a bad
big
intro,
fans
but
of...
you said it was a bad intro, but since we said our
hit all
names,
the points.
that makes a great
It
intro.
hits all the points, yeah. No, we're big fans of non-linear games.
That's true, and I think
that adds to...
I think a lot of people are realizing that. A lot of developers are realizing that, like, mini games and all that kind of stuff. I think they're important to add because they help build the world.
No, yeah.
Because, like, what would Red Dead Redemption be? What would an Old West game like that be without the chance to gamble in a Mexican whorehouse?
It would still be a great game, but the thing is, it's a whole world when you have stuff like that.
Exactly.
Also, what helps, and it's something that I was sad they took out of Fallout New Vegas, but Red Dead Redemption has a lot of random occurrences and encounters.
Yeah.
Where, like, you'll just be riding through the wilderness, and all of a sudden somebody will need help because they're getting robbed or something. That adds to a living world feeling that really adds a lot to that game.
Yeah, I mean, they did that in Fallout 3, which was really cool, because you'd be like, run into a bunch of rad scorpions trying to have sex with their refrigerator or something, and you're like, this is disgusting. I'm going to nuke you guys from orbit.
And what it does is it makes the world living, and it makes every journey a different one.
Yeah, and that's absolutely the case. There was an offer, less of a sale, because a sale implies buying something, but on a site called GOG.com, I think it's Grand Old Games or something, but it's GOG.com, they had free, like 2 days ago, the original Fallout, which Tom and I both downloaded.
I didn't play it yet at all.
I started playing a little bit, and they have those random encounters, so even though it's a little clunky in the world, it's a lot different, because obviously it's not an adventuring FPS, action RPG kind of thing. You still got those random encounters where you're wandering along through the desert, and all of a sudden you come across a dead body surrounded by mutated mantoids or whatever. So, it adds to a living world that is constantly evolving and changing.
Yeah, it's very important for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, because just look at, excuse me. let's look at Mass Effect 3 from this interest. And I know you still haven't played it yet, and you probably won't. But like Mass Effect 3, the only real like side stuff that was there was like the artifact scouting missions for people on the Citadel or whatever, and that's boring.
Actually, let me give him more of a point. What's the biggest difference between Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2? They got rid of a lot of stuff that fleshed out the world and the extra stuff.
Well, yeah, that's absolutely true.
2 became a lot more linear, just shooting and whatever. And
because they took out the whole Mako exploration.
Yeah, in 1 you got to drive around and got to do stuff like that.
And there was gambling in 1.
Was there?
Yeah, you could go to the one in the Citadel. There was like a nightclub there that you could gamble. There was a side quest where like this Solarian wanted you to hack one of the machines with this program that he wrote so that you could cheat effectively and get more money. It was a whole side quest based around it.
Well, I don't even know anything about that. But the thing is, that helps your game have a lot of replay value, and it makes your whole world something else. Because in 2, you could be 2 and be like, that's that. 1, right now, he's telling me something that I didn't even see, and I played that game a few times.
Yeah, I mean, in 2, since they had the whole planet scanning thing, the whole thing was like, if you wanted to know more about a planet, you had to read a small blurb on the side of the screen, which nobody wants to do.
You could have been there flying your magic space card.
You could have been there running away at top speed from 18 Thresher Malls.
That kind of stuff is fun and important for games.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. In a game like, in a straight-ahead game like Call of Duty or, I mean, you could even have
Call of Duty's a bad example because it's a great minigame.
Well, not in all of them.
That's true.
Well, even in, like, Modern Warfare 2, they had, like, Spec Ops, which we played and was kind of fun.
Yeah, and it was important to have it.
Yeah.
We should do an episode on co-op stuff and why every game should have it and why I'm confused that they don't.
Yeah.
And why online co-op and not split-screen co-op is outrageous.
You remember how mad you were when we found out that Dead Island wasn't going to have split-screen co-op?
Yeah, what was the point of that? Give me split-screen on that. That game, it needs it.
Yeah.
What are you guys, idiots? Grow up.
I don't think... And when we're talking side stuff, are we also talking like just like side missions in general?
Things that don't pertain to the main story or gameplay.
Okay, because that's... I mean, there is, don't get me wrong. In that case, there is
We're leaving it wide open.
Oh, yeah.
We do not want to run out of content today.
We're just going to let it go. But, like, in Mass Effect, there is that kind of stuff because there are still those, like, N7 missions. Oh, excuse me.
You're having a real issue today.
This is a burping machine.
You, like, swallowed a frog there.
Well, I had pickles. The pickles make me gassy.
Who makes who gassy?
Me.
You.
I said pickles make me
I
gassy.
think that pickles make everyone gassy.
No, I said pickles make...
You said...
when would I have time to fit everyone in that sentence?
Well, you did. I just heard it. We have it on the recording. It said, yo, dog, pickles make all y'all jealous of my gas. Remember when we said that?
Well, I mean, they can make him as jealous of my gas as they want, but it still makes me gassy.
Oh, we're going to edit it out, so you actually did say it.
Neat.
Trust me, we got the future.
Yeah, that's true.
Hands.
That's true. But the whole thing is, like, they still have those N7 missions in Mass Effect 2 and 3, but, like, even then, you're still the same... it's not different enough where it really feels like it's distinguishing it from a regular story mission. Even, like, the character quests, like the loyalty quests, that's what they're called.
Yeah.
Even the loyalty quests in 2, even though they didn't really have anything to do with the story per se, like, I still felt like I wasn't doing anything different. I was still, going off and shooting dudes and reading stuff and all that junk. So there just didn't feel like a difference there.
Yeah, it really does matter a lot. But let's get out of this deepness and just talk about things we liked.
Okay.
Let's not even talk about why they're good, just things that we liked.
Okay.
Because everyone knows that they're great. No one has ever played a minigame and be like, why would this need to be here? I'm angry that this is here. Name one time when that happened.
People didn't like the hacking minigame in BioShock.
That's not a minigame, it's essential.
But it's still technically a minigame.
No, it's not.
You could call it a minigame. Why couldn't you?
You wouldn't.
Because you don't have to hack.
It was a gameplay mechanic.
You don't have to hack in that game.
That was a gameplay mechanic.
You don't have to hack in that game.
Was it called lockpicking and Fallout a minigame?
Yeah.
Okay,
I think most people would call that. Because I would consider hacking a minigame as well.
I guess. I don't like to say that. I don't want to say it.
Regardless.
I want you to take back that point.
I'm not going to.
Please do.
You could gamble in BioShock, too. You could play slots.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was. You just pressed
Yeah.
Still
sometimes you won, though.
Yeah, it still counts.
Yeah.
Also, am I a bad guy because in BioShock I talked to the fortune teller a million times? It's always funny. It's just something I like to do. And that's, once again, that stuff adds to the atmosphere and the general fullness feeling of a game.
Okay, here's like a subsection. This is like a little sidebar of what we're talking about. But like also another thing that we really both like a lot, and I really thought of this tangentially because
Ladies,
here it comes.
We both like those a lot.
Oh yeah, I have a really disturbing woman fetish. But this is how tangentially I was thinking about it. He mentioned fortune teller. So at first I thought of the fortune teller from Animal Crossing, but then I thought of the fortune teller that you get as part of your crew in Skies of Arcadia, and that made me think of base building minigames.
Oh yeah, home-based stuff.
Yeah, home-based stuff is the best.
There's no reason it should be so good, but it is.
Because that's what we loved in Assassin's Creed 2, was just building up the villa, the Montenegro, or whatever it was called.
That has literally nothing to do with the story or the gameplay.
No, it's like...
But it's so fun. And
it's going to get you money. You're like...
Money is important. It did make the game too easy. Well,
Yeah.
getting equipment too easy. But it still was fun. That held my interest. That's the reason I played.
Yeah, and we mentioned Saints Row, that there was gambling in Saints Row, but even in Saints Row 2 there were enough mini games thrown around that were actually fun. Don't talk about the ones that are bad.
Well, there's activities and stuff, and those count.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking
Totally
about.
count.
Totally count. Because like some of them were good and we actually liked doing them, and some of them weren't good and we didn't like doing them.
Yeah. A
Like
lot of them in 2 were bad.
Well, the one where you were playing a cop, that was fun. I kind of liked that.
Fuzz.
Yeah, Fuzz. That's what it was.
Fuzz was great.
Yeah, Fuzz was fun.
No, those are creative and good. And they weren't story-related, so they totally count.
Totally count.
Totally count. Okay, let's think of a game that could have been improved by minigames, didn't have one.
Okay.
I'll name one right now. Just Cause 2. Didn't have a single minigame in it.
Really? That seems...
Unless you count QuickTime events, which you absolutely should not.
No, we're not going to count that.
Yeah. There was a casino. You didn't play at it. You couldn't.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That game, if it had a little more minigames, you'd probably feel like it had more substance.
Yeah.
Which is stupid. It's still a great game, but it would add more.
Well, I mean, I was rewatching the Red Dead Redemption review from Yahtzee, Ben Yahtzee Croshaw from Zero Punctuation, and he was talking about how even compared to Red Dead Redemption's world, which is smaller than Just Cause's, Red Dead Redemption's world just seemed more thought out and populated just because of that kind of stuff. There was actually a world there that you could really interact with. Whereas in Just Cause, it was just kind of like, there were people who happened to be living in this area where there were ammo upgrades and, money parcels that you had to get to.
Something you always talk about, and the audience doesn't know about it, but you're kind of right about it, is that you'll often say that you won't like a game as much if there's not like a place where you're not attacked or like a safe zone. And the thing about that and why it matters, and I'm bringing it up, is I'm buying time to remember why I'm bringing it up.
It's because peaceful areas like that helps liven up the world. It makes it seem like there's more than just the straight ahead mission that you have to do.
Because if you're, let's say, in Red Dead Redemption, you got a real world there. You wouldn't constantly be attacked in your real life. When you go into danger, you want it to feel dangerous. You don't want to always feel like you're in danger.
Yeah, and
it adds tension. It adds stuff.
Well, and it's weird because on the exact opposite point of that, that's one of the reasons. It's weird because that's one of the reasons where Mass Effect 2 kind of fell short, was that you had specific areas where the missions were for combat, and you had specific areas where there weren't missions in combat. So you knew where you were safe when you couldn't draw a weapon out.
Yeah, that really takes away from a lot.
It really does, but
it really reduces the amount of tension to situations.
But it's almost the exact thing we were just talking about. But there, it totally fell flat of what it was supposed to be, because in one, when you were when you first got to the Citadel and you were trying to meet up with Tally to get the stuff on Saren, you just went down to Cora's den, and even if you had been there before, there were assassins there now that were trying to attack you, and it was turned into a battle zone, and you could go back there as soon as that mission was over, and there wouldn't be anyone attacking you, but you could still draw a weapon and stuff, so you didn't really know.
Actually, it doesn't count for one, because in one you could draw a weapon anywhere.
Well, yeah.
Oh.
That's the point.
I wasn't listening.
Okay, great. The point is that there could potentially be enemies anywhere, whereas in 2, you were like, oh, well, I'm at the Citadel. And it's not any special mission or anything, so that means I'm not going to be in danger, so I don't have to get the weapon out.
It really only takes away from the storytelling.
Yeah.
And the feeling of the game. I don't know why anyone would do that. It adds... Yeah. You were right about what you said.
Thank you.
I brought it up because you're right.
But yeah, and you don't always, and don't get me wrong, you don't always need a mini game. I would say
I can think of many examples where you don't need one.
Well, just one recently. I think Human Revolution, Deus Ex. You didn't need any there. I think that was a really good game. It had a really fleshed out world, but you didn't need. And there were side missions and stuff that weren't necessarily mini games, but there was still stuff you could do.
Yeah.
But it didn't need a gambling section. You didn't need to go to a casino because it was still a well thought out game. The world was, full and rich, and you really could be attacked at any time, so.
Yeah. I was thinking of I had only bad examples. I was going to say, well, Age of Empires 2 didn't need one. But I could think of potentially fun RTS style minigames. Like if you had defend against waves.
Well, would you say in Total War that the battles were the mini games?
You could almost say it.
Yeah, because that game was a lot. Because really, you could economically just crush an opponent.
You could also just auto resolve every battle.
Well, yeah, that too.
And if you want to consider the campaign the actual game and the battles the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Which you would be possibly right to do. And
yeah,
maybe that is what the game is.
And like I said, if you were really good at exploiting agents, you would never have to raise an army to defeat an enemy.
Also, since the campaign stuff is basically main game, let's get an iPhone version. Just make that. Let's do it very text based. I would love that.
This is Tom was talking about this when he was playing Portable Ops, or not Portable Ops, Peace Walker, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
By the way, everyone go play Peace Walker. It's really good.
He was talking about how he wanted an Outer Ops mission app for the iPhone.
That would be awesome.
Because there wasn't really anything really.
Okay, well, I don't remember if it was called Outer Ops or not.
That's what it was called. They were Outer Ops missions.
Oh yeah, but it was just a stupid thing. You'd send people out on missions, and you'd get a little cutscene battle that was like a little representation of what happened. Do you want to stir that into the microphone or what?
It's not showing up for the levels.
It is. Look at those. That's stirring symbols.
No, that's you. You're shouting.
I guarantee you're going to headphone it. You're going to say, "Was he making a milkshake?" Anyway, so I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, so basically it's just a stupid representation and it's neat and all, but I would love it to be on an iPhone.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's so fun of a minigame. It's so stupid and whatever that I would love to play it just when I had extra time.
But that again
sounds like a perfect minigame to me.
That's a game that fleshed out the world through minigames like that.
By the way, Peace Walker's so good. Oh man, and it's because it's I would say the best Metal Gear Solid gameplay wise because of side stuff.
Yeah,
because you're not just doing a story and progressing a story. You're actually in a world there, and you're creating a base, and you're doing these games, and you're doing stuff like that, which makes the whole world alive. And it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the more you can really get encompassed in the world, the better.
That is a very important thing.
Because the thing about Human Revolution was that Human Revolution and what took me back to the days when I first played Metal Gear Solid, the first one, where after I was playing it, whenever I would leave my room and go to the bathroom or whatever, I would always be checking my radar to see if there were enemies around because I didn't know if there were going to be or not.
Yeah, but you live in Shadow Moses.
Well, yeah. That's where I used to live. That's where they found me.
Oh, yeah.
But no, seriously, I would be worried about making noise and stuff because I didn't want to. I got so immersed in the game that I kind of blurred reality for a second until I realized that I wasn't playing the game anymore. I got so worried about it because the world was so real.
We're probably going to go on a lot about immersion in all of these episodes you ever listen to because it's a very essential part of gaming.
Yeah. I would say that it adds to the art of video gaming.
Chances are if you're listening to this podcast, you're not stupid enough to be like, I don't understand why immersion's important. Maybe you're some kind of geezer. Could you say geezer in an English accent real quick?
Geezer.
That is not an English accent.
How's that not? That's like upper crust English. Do you want a
Cockney? Or like an MIA geezer. She's from Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Geezer.
Geezer.
Thank you. If you're some sort of geezer and you still think all games should be like asteroids, then you can suck it. Because that's, whatever. You play those games for a little bit. But now there's real gamers. There's people who live in these worlds.
The thing of it is that, I think games where
we should
you
do a
really
podcast where we only speak in British accents.
We already have those. It's called Good Day, Mate, the podcast.
That's Australian accents?
Yeah, I think you really want immersion in especially games like a Madden so that you can really immerse.
Here's the thing. I didn't want you to make this point because I'm about to crush you.
In the Tim Tebows.
Here's the deal. That's not even a real joke. The deal is, I remember one year for Christmas I got NASCAR or something. And I was like, who cares about this? Then there's like a whole team building mini game and stuff, and you end up like choosing your different members or like choosing your car parts or like tuning certain ways. That was ridiculous amounts of fun. I played that game for months.
Isn't that kind of the way fantasy baseball works?
Or
fantasy football?
Sort of.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's not fun.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying those games, even though they're sports games and everyone thinks they're pretty shallow, they can have some really good stuff in them.
Yeah.
And what it does is it makes the game even better. Even though it's a yearly thing, they sometimes have different mini games and different stuff like that. That really helps you feel like you didn't waste a purchase that year.
Yeah. Because you only buy one video game a year.
You only buy one of that series a year. Nice try. Nice try.
If they came out with more than one, would you buy more
D
than one?
Marx, look, I have small iron.
What is it?
I speak in British accents.
What is the deal with British accents?
And then I say it's Australian.
You said it was Australian.
I was doing an impression of me, pretending to be you. Anyway, guys.
I don't like that at all. Let's just take a break.
Dude, I inceptioned him.
Let's just take a break.
All right.
Woo! I love me some Chemical Zone.
Hey, everybody. You probably only heard a few seconds of it. I made a vow to be funnier this part than in the first segment.
A solemn vow.
Listen, guys, I know I'm not funny, but here's the deal. We got an email.
If he's not funny this segment, he has sworn to commit seppuku, and he has chosen me to be his kaishakunin, and I'm honored.
First of all, when did I swear to that? Anyway, here's the deal. I got an email recently.
Okay.
It's from a young and upcoming...
Would you mind if I read the email?
Absolutely, I would, because I'm going to read it.
Okay.
Please do not even look at it. As a matter of fact, turn around if you could.
I'm
going to read it to you.
I'm turning around. My eyes are closed.
Okay, you didn't have to... I didn't say close your eyes.
My pants are off.
It's not that kind of story.
Oh.
Get tons of emails like that.
Okay.
Young and upcoming comics. No, young and upcoming comedian. He wants to know, Tom C. D. Marx, how do you do it? He knows that jokes are secondary to the games, but he knows the jokes are what carry the whole podcast.
Some would say that jokes are our mini games of the podcast.
Kind of, because it's in the way. Not really. But
because it's keeping you from what you want to hear.
Do you want to actually... I'm not going to read the whole email, he says, Tom C. D. Marx, he said just like that.
If you know anyone who's funny and can give me pointers...
No, he didn't say that. He's saying he wants it from us.
Oh.
And I think it's time that we let the audience in on a few of our special joke techniques that we employ every episode.
I feel like you're kind of betraying the sacred bond of our comedy masters.
Listen, they... well, I didn't think about the masters.
You never think about the masters.
I know.
Dude.
The masters were on this weekend.
I know. Some guy named Bubba won.
No. Golf?
Yeah. Literally. His name is Bubba.
Really? Was it Bubba Sparks, that rapper?
No. It was not Bubba Sparks, that rapper.
Anyway. All the best to Bubba. I'm sure he earned it.
He got the green jacket.
He got the yellow jacket, too.
That was a happy game.
That's why he won. Everyone felt bad that he got stung by a yellow jacket in the Masters, so they gave him the whole thing.
Remember, seppuku if you're not funny.
Sorry. Definitely a good chance of that. So anyway, we want to teach this guy. Do you have a funny name that we can make up for the email guy?
His name is Slapdasher.
Slapdasher. We want to give Slapdasher all the techniques. Not all the techniques. Some of our more...
I'm sorry, it's Slapsdasher.
Slapsdasher, he knows that who to come to for the advice. It's us. Let's teach him some of our techniques.
Okay, Tom. What's a technique that you pull out of the hat when you're in a
these are our combined
when
techniques.
you're in a comedy jam?
We do these
not a comedy jam session, but a comedy situation.
No, we're not even going to start with the out of the jam ones yet. Let's do some of our basic ones.
Okay, Tom.
Like, let's say we're both talking, and we'll go into the fireman's carry.
Okay. All right. So
explain that one to him. Slaps.
No, I'm explaining it to slaps.
Yeah, we're explaining to slaps.
A fireman's carry is when you kind of like when someone makes a joke, like Tom making a not funny joke right now.
Why'd the chicken cross the eggs road?
A fireman's carry is when you literally hoist up that joke and you carry it all the way out of the bad area of jokes to a safe area. Like, what was the joke again?
Why'd the chickens cross the egg roads?
The fireman's carry here would be because it's right all the way to somebody's boobs.
That's good. He fixed it.
Yeah, I made the joke better because now you're thinking about boobs. You don't have time to think that the joke's not funny.
You're already confused.
You're confused and perhaps aroused.
Because that's what firemen do. They get the confusing into the confusing.
And they're good-looking guys.
And stuff like that.
Exactly.
We certainly have more techniques than that.
Well, one of my personal favorites, Tom, is the map fold.
The map fold?
If you want to go into the map fold.
Well, the map fold's pretty easy. It's when you tell a bad joke, but instead of fixing it, you go back and post and you just edit it out. I mean, because what happens is you grab both sides of the map, we call it, which is the actual documentation.
Quote unquote.
We print out what the signs look like.
Yeah.
And then we fold it over, so the joke's erased.
This is also known as the Mad Magazine last page.
It's also called the wormhole. But we can't give away all the extra names.
Well, that would be a podcast in and of itself.
But you would be surprised how much we use that Slaps Dashers.
That's true. That's true.
Does he have a third name, like Slaps Dashers?
Well, it's Slaps S Dasher.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
But that we need to use more than just two.
That's we sure do.
Let me tell you about one we use every single time. Because we also
if you're a careful listener, you've picked up on it.
It's called the orange orangutan.
The orange orangutan.
You definitely have seen this one, listeners.
Well, you've heard it.
Well, yeah.
Okay, the orange orangutan is when you're talking about something that's not particularly funny. What you do on our end, on the recording end, is you use your two index fingers and you make a smiley face, and you look at your co-host, and then you start talking in a funny old accent about how you're making the jokes about things.
It almost always works.
You heard a little chuckle, and it's also called the little chuckler.
It's called the little chuckler.
The little chuckler.
We rarely call it the orange orangutan.
Yeah, because
just because little chuckler is funnier to say.
Yeah, it really is funnier.
Is that going to get him through a podcast, though?
I think he needs at least one or two more.
I think he can't know all 1,000 of our techniques.
No,
we don't have enough time.
No, but if you
tell him one of the more simpler ones.
Okay,
not to just give him the name and I'll tell him it.
Well, of course. One of the more simpler ones is simply called the river dragon.
River dragon is easy. It's when you make up a fake number of things that you have.
Exactly.
For instance, thousands of techniques.
Thousands upon thousands.
That one's pretty simple. And it's a standby.
Yeah.
Just like the bunt, which we use every episode.
Dude, the bunt's a classic. The bunt is just when you have a joke that is kind of funny, and then you just let it go way too long. Like you're like, say for the river dragon, Tom was like, "Oh, we have thousands of comedy jokes."
And then I went thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of jokes, right?
That's a bunt.
That's a bunt.
That's
because you're letting it go, and then like in baseball, the next person comes in and he hits the bunt.
Exactly.
Because that's what happens. You bunt it up, and the next guy comes in and he hits it again.
Some people call it the doubler.
Yeah, I haven't watched baseball lately.
Yeah, I think they might have changed that rule.
I don't think they did.
Interesting.
I seem to recall it happening every time.
Do we have one more?
I got plenty more.
Okay, all right.
It depends on how much we want to tell him.
I say we do two more.
I say we do 10 million more.
I say we do 10 million,
River
billion,
Dragon.
billion
Classic
more.
River Dragon.
That was a bunt on me, right there.
Oh, it was bunt and River Dragon.
Yeah, you did the River Dragon, I did the bunt.
Combo techniques. We can't go into those.
No, that's way too advanced. Sorry, Slaps.
You're just starting, right? You got to learn you got to do your own combos.
Yeah.
What do you got? I want to tell him.
The Holy Jeans.
The Holy Jeans?
Holy Jeans.
That's pretty advanced.
I feel like Slaps may have earned it.
Holy Jeans is when you have to cover both your mouth and your ears to make a funny voice. We call it the Holy Jeans because traditionally in the olden times you'd put a pair of jeans over your mouth to do this.
Yeah, because you only had two hands back then.
As we advanced, we learned to use our hands only, though, because jeans proved to be too primitive compared to our hands.
Well, yes. I mean, hands have evolved. Our hands have up to 12 fingers.
Since the time jeans have existed, hands have evolved in that time to become
Absolutely.
more efficient at making funny voices with your mouth and ears.
Absolutely.
Everyone knows that one. How about the Papa Chimney, though?
Papa Chimney.
Few people know that.
The Papa Chimney is one I've actually used in this segment, if you can even believe it.
I don't think I can.
Papa Chimney is when you make a joke or some kind of comment that's not really that funny, and then you do a really annoying laugh to seal it off.
Oh, yeah.
Like
the Papa Chimney.
Yeah. You're like, oh, well, looks like that guy's a bit of a Slurpee.
I think we do that every episode.
Yeah, it's one that we use a lot, because the Papa Chimney is such a classic, and it's also a classic.
2 papas in a row.
Right there.
2 papas.
Papa's got the pizza.
I don't want to stop yet. I want to really help him out.
I feel like we're really betraying the Comedy Masters, but okay.
Listen.
You talked me into it.
I got to be honest. At this point, we've surpassed the Masters. We are the Masters.
Well,
I went to the Masters and I told my jokes. I got the yellow jacket.
I don't... I got the green jacket.
Huh?
I got the green jacket.
Bubba?
No.
How'd you get on here, Bubba?
I got it earlier.
Oh.
I got it 2 years ago.
You weren't this year. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know you played golf.
Yeah, well, I play comedy golf.
Oh, okay. Is that like Frisbee golf?
No, it's I played at the Bob Hope Classic in the comedy golf.
See, what we're doing right now, listener, this is called the Bob Hope. It's when you pretend something happened, and then when no one's looking, you do the holy jeans while making a continuation of a joke.
Exactly.
It's classic technique, the Bob Hope.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's when you pronounce a word slightly with an S in it.
It's when you pronounce a word slightly with poultry in it.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's the polarizer.
No, the polarizer was when you pronounce a word with a lot more polar bear in it.
I thought the polar bear was when you put pole into words that didn't normally have it, like Polak, or Liberace Polak.
Now you're thinking of the racist, bassist, Scudasis.
I don't remember that one.
The Jason racist.
Is that when you try and say one name and then you say 3 other names?
No.
Is that one? We use that one a lot.
That one that I just did. That was called the Peopler.
Oh yeah.
And the Peopler is the one where you try to say something. You try to say something fairly similar, like video game, which ends up being like biblio games.
Isn't that the peepholer?
No, it's the Peopler.
What?
The peephole.
What do you call something that makes something into peeps?
That is
the peoplerizer.
The just born men.
I thought that was something else too.
That was a Peopler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets confusing for us.
Well,
we shouldn't name all these.
You should
techniques.
see the codex that we have of comedy techniques.
It's more of a grimoire. Is that the right word?
Yeah, but I kind of like codex.
I never get to use grimoire, and you're taking it away from me.
Well, you used it twice now.
This is a comedy battle we have sometimes.
Yeah.
Where we pretend to be in an argument, but we're not.
Okay.
If we continue it for more than 6 years, it's a comedy war.
Could we explain to him the tourney of Bornies?
I don't know that I can.
Well, the tourney of Bornies is just...
Isn't that just when you eat more than one French fry at a time?
No, that's a French fighting contest.
Okay, is it when you go down a water slide while telling a bad joke?
No, that is the splasher.
It's when you go up a water slide while telling a good joke.
No, that's the...
Reverse splasher.
The redasher.
Okay.
No.
Is it when you trip
the tourney
into
of Bornies... The tourney of Bornies is just when you have a fake argument for comedy's sake. When you know, obviously, it's incredibly stupid what you're arguing about.
I thought that was War of the Roses.
No, that's the Lancaster Shires.
I thought that was when he made a Shaun of the Dead joke.
No, that's the Winchesters.
Okay. I thought that was when he made a joke that related to rifles.
No, that's the Bullseye.
Is it? I thought the Bullseye was when he really nailed a joke.
No, that's the Great Jobber.
I thought that was the Good Jobber.
No, you're thinking of the Okay Jobber.
I don't think I ever think of the Okay Jobber.
Well, that's because you don't tell very good jokes.
No, the Papa Chimney.
Kaboom.
Guys, we're going to make Papa Chimney t-shirts.
Yeah, dude. It's going to be a picture of my face. It's going to be a picture of my face going like this.
But they can't see your
can't
face. That's a classic technique, too. That's the slaps dashers. When you make a thing they can't see and you do it.
Exactly.
Anyway, slaps. We can't give you any more techniques. That's it.
Yeah. That should be enough for you to impress any girl to go to your high school dance.
To go listen to your podcast. Now listen, slaps. If you come after us, we will take you down. I don't want to see you near us, slaps. Slaps, you look at me in the face.
Just because we toppled our masters doesn't mean you can topple us.
You think we don't have plenty more techniques? I'll kill you.
We have the Shallon Doopster.
We can't tell them even the names.
I think just the Shallon Doopster name alone is enough to scare off any potential comedy jokesters.
What he doesn't know is that we have plenty of Shaolin techniques.
Yeah.
Shaolin joke techniques.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't know what to do. And that's because there's nothing he can do.
Well, I'll tell you someone else who doesn't know what to do.
Who's that?
EA.
Guys, perfect segue.
Did everyone hear how I nailed it?
This guy, he's a professional broadcaster.
That was a bullseye.
Guys, so recently you may have heard that EA was
You may have heard a lot of things about EA recently.
But recently they were voted as the worst company by Consumerist.com. And they're not just an upstart website.
No, it's not like they're like, well, give them some time. Maybe they'll grow into it.
Let me give you a bit of backstory on this worst company in America. Past 3 years has been Bank of America.
Yeah.
It's not like a video games thing. It's like a legitimate thing of companies.
No. It's not a fly-by-night list. It's like here's things that affect your daily life.
So why would EA be on that list? You might be wondering to yourself, because you're an idiot.
Because you've been living under a rock?
Well, they've done quite a lot. Basically, they've decided to completely ruin the gamer's life.
Yeah.
Is that harsh? Yeah, it is harsh.
Let's start off with the Mass Effect 3 extended cut thing.
This is an embarrassment that they're trying to pretend like this is something that the gamers force them to do.
Yeah. I mean,
Ugh.
I think we
even talked about it in our Lost episode.
I know. The thing about it is like, I just have to imagine that they were planning on charging for it from the beginning, and they just got so much outrage that they just physically couldn't. Otherwise, they would just not be able to exist as a company.
Yeah. They made an on-purpose terrible ending so that they could extend it with DLC.
Yeah.
Anyone who's not an idiot could see that.
Yeah.
I don't understand why anyone defends this ending, by the way. People do, and I don't understand.
I think they just got really shamed into having to give it away for free. I don't think they were planning on doing that.
It's just ridiculous. All this DLC garbage with the on-disc DLC and the DLCs of things that should be released with games, it's all because of them.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
Maybe it isn't all about them. I'm not an expert, but it's a lot.
Well, yeah. They're a corporation. They got to make money, and I do understand that, but like, you just look at a company that like BioWare that used to have like some of the best well-written games out there, and just ever since their acquisition by EA, they've just fallen so much from what they used to have.
Oh, by the way, you won't see BioWare for much longer, I bet. Because what EA does, they buy companies that are good, and then they destroy them. Well, it's happened with almost every company.
What they do, what I've been reading is, what they essentially did was, when they bought EA, or bought BioWare, they fired a lot of people, and then they took a lot of the people from BioWare to put on their own, like, studio.
Yeah, but what happens with a lot of companies,
so like BioWare is just like a skeleton company now, essentially.
Wasn't the people who made Age of Empires destroyed by EA? Ensemble or whatever?
I think Ensemble just kind of went out of business. I think they stopped. I think they just kind of
you're wrong.
Put themselves to rest, because I don't think they ever were involved with EA.
I think they were. Don't quote me on that.
I honestly don't know.
Anyway, they've been doing this for years, though. I'm thinking of Activision right now, and I'm not supposed to.
Yeah,
they're also bad.
Yeah, Activision's not good.
But here's the real thing that's been bothering me about EA. So they were voted this thing, right? They were voted the worst company. So what they decided to do...
They released a press release.
I don't know if they released a press release.
I think it was a press release.
But anyway, they decided to spin it, and you're going to say, well, this is what actually happened. No. I read the things about it before it happened, that what they planned on doing was releasing a thing that's saying people who voted for this consumerist article was an anti-gay hate group.
No. It takes me immediately... Ugh. It takes me immediately back to, like, the people who were boycotting the new Thor movie because one of the Norse gods was black. It's like, what an obvious thing. Don't even try to hide it.
Dude, the thing is, nobody cares about if your character's gay in your game. There's no gamer who's like, there's gay gamers in this. No. No one got that upset that there were gay options in a Mass Effect game.
Yeah, and
they're saying in particular because of the Star Wars Old Republic, but who cares? Because there's apparently a gay whatever. Who cares?
Isn't there an entire gay race?
It doesn't matter. Because no one's that mad about that.
No.
That doesn't make... They know very well that that's not why they were voted. They were voted for their terrible business practices and nickel and diming everyone.
Yeah, and I mean, the worst part of it is that, like, EA doesn't even make compelling gay characters. Like, for the most part, they're not good. Like, I don't like them. Like, if you're a gay character in Mass Effect or Dragon Age, you're like...
It's basically all you
got. Hey,
got.
Shepard, how's it going? I see you have a dong there. Would you perhaps be interested in me sucking upon it? I happen to be a man.
Yeah, if you're a gay guy, that's all you are in a video game.
Like, in Dragon Age 2... One of the gay options that you come across, like, it's the first line of dialogue. He's like, "Wow, you're quite a fetching gentleman," and like, it's an immediate come on, and you're like, "No."
Pro tip, guys. Now, maybe you haven't had too much social experience, or you're an idiot. Like, most gay people probably aren't gonna just do that. Like, even if you're gay, that's not what defines you as a human being.
Yeah,
just like how if you have a hobby or any other thing, not comparing the two things, but like you wouldn't. That isn't all you think about or talk about.
Oh, I'm homosexual on the weekends.
Yeah, no, that was a bad example. But it's one thing does not define you.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of LGBTYQWXYZ friends.
Dude, they're gonna come after you after making that joke about their abbreviations.
It's just getting long.
We should start a negative gay stereotype about how they are very vigilant in attacking people who make fun of their abbreviations. Besides that, they're like totally good.
Yeah. They're way too serious about things. But I have a lot of friends who, live who live an alternate sexual lifestyle or whatever, and it totally doesn't bother me at all because, I live in the 21st century and I realize that's how people choose to live their lives, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Also, pro tip, they're not you, so who cares?
Yeah. But the thing of it is like
they're not telling you what to do.
They're not always like, "Oh, by the way, D Marx, I'm gay." Have I mentioned that today at all? Because
today I was out being gay.
Yes.
Like I often do.
I was off sucking another man's genital area, as I am also a man.
That's what I do.
Yes, that is my thing.
There's a lot more.
And that was his thing.
Oh, jeez. There's got to be a name for doing it like 10 times in an episode.
Dude.
It's an achievement. Sorry, take it back.
It's the grandpa chimney.
The issue is, that's not... It's a weak attempt.
No, it is. And characters who are that shallow and that just like... totally being defined by their sexuality. Don't get me wrong. Tom C and I can't speak for Tom C, but I'm not gay. I'm straight. I really hung out to dry there.
I too am not gay. What a gift it would be if I was a successful gay man, but instead I am an unsuccessful everything man.
That's true. But the thing it is like...
I'm equally unpopular within both sexes.
I'd like to get some love from somewhere, but that seems to not be the case.
No one cares.
But no, the thing of it is like, we're straight, but it so doesn't matter because who cares?
Because I hate everybody.
Yeah, he's a total misanthrope.
I hate all people.
And it doesn't matter if we're straight or gay because, quite frankly, it's none of your goddamn business.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Leave me alone. Unless you play games.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what games you shouldn't play.
Right.
Also, I'm going to call you stupid a lot, too. Anyway, the thing is, whatever. Good job, EA, being the worst company ever because you suck. But you should really be embarrassed that you've decided to go so low as to pretend that it was this.
Yeah, I mean, nobody would point to EA as being a crusader for equal gay rights or anything like that.
Dude, we shouldn't give away our whole gay podcast that I writ down on our note list. Because we could have a whole episode on this, guys.
Yeah, we probably could. That should be next. You know what? I promise you that's what we're going to do for our main topic next week.
I don't promise that, but I also promise it.
We're going to do homosexuality in video gaming.
Because that was one of my options, and guys, there's a lot of stuff to talk about there.
Oh, yeah, sure is.
And I wish we didn't expose so much of it here.
Well, don't worry. We'll do important recaps. But
I'm going to try my hardest to not make gay jokes.
Yeah.
Because they're only going to be aimed at myself.
That's going to be real hard.
Oh, come on, man. That's just a double entendre. That's not even gay. But we have to move on. And
we have to move on.
Just EA, you should be embarrassed. Yeah. Also, please give me all of your money. Is that possible?
Well, they aren't a sponsor, so they can go. They aren't a sponsor, so they can go to hell.
I still would like all their money.
Well, yeah.
Half of it?
If they're going to give us money.
Half of it? I'll take 10%. I'll take 1% of their money, and then we'll be even, okay?
Okay.
Anyway, guys, we need to move on. So here's the deal. You probably have seen it. That's probably why you're here. I started making the videos finally.
Yeah. And I'm also going to be I'm in one video.
Yeah. The Sons of Vidya have a video channel.
And we're going to be...
Are you on YouTube? You seen the YouTubes?
We're going to make tons more videos.
Tons
more videos.
YouTubes? Go on there. Search Sons of Vidya. You know how it's spelled?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Vidwya. Vidwya.
And since we spelled the name of the title of the show...
I also wanted to... I'm just saying, email us, guys. Listen, when we get done with our world-famous segment, we don't have any more time. We need to get this out of the way here.
I thought we were done, but go on.
Email us, guys. SonsOfVidya@gmail.com.
Seriously, do it.
We give away prizes. We want you to have all of our stuff that we like. We'll send it to you via Steam, via mail,
whatever.
via smoke.
Carrier pigeon? We have some.
Any kind of chemical reaction or result of a chemical reaction, we will send it to you through that.
Surgical implant?
Yeah. We'll send it. We'll put it in a cannon. Blast it out there.
Oh, yeah.
It will probably damage the game, but it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
You don't know. I'm next on ballistics. But anyway, email us, sonsofvidya@gmail.com. Go to our blog spot, sonsofvidya@blogspot.com. Right?
Yeah.
Guys, you know what time it is. Hold on, let's make a space. We're going to really pad it out. Not really.
We're running low. We're already on the 24th hour of this podcast.
Thanks for sticking with it, guys. You guys are real listeners.
Yeah, dude.
It's time for speed reviews.
Speed, bruh.
Here's the deal, guys. This video list today is from videogamelist.com, which surprisingly is a site, and I'm sure I'm going to use it for every week from now on.
How did we not do that? How did we not find this?
Boy, it was easy to find.
Why was that not the first place we
checked? Big
checked?
plug to them for being named a
for
good
existing.
Name. Good call.
Existing.
This list is the hardest games to finish.
Hardest game.
We're still going to review them, though. We're not going to beat them.
No. It's because we've already beaten one of these.
I have...
Two.
I beat one of these two. But anyway, speed reviews, guys. Ready?
All right.
Are you ready, guys? You ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, first game, we give it to you. Mike Tyson Punch-Out. For its regular Nintendo.
Okay, so in this game, you're fighting against all your favorite cartoon pals, like Mike Tyson and Mike Tyson and Mike Tyson. 3 rounds out of 10. Back to the Future, NES.
Yeah, first of all, the game is so hard because you have to go to the future and then back to the regular past and then to the future again. But you get it, you just don't get it. You get a 1 divided by 0 out of 10. F-Zero GX for the GameCube.
This is a lot worse than A-Zero GX, so I'm going to give it a failing 4 out of 10. Bionic Commando, NES.
I've never heard of this game except for the PS3 one, which is the only one that's ever existed. So this gets a 0 out of 10. Devil May Cry 3 for the PS2.
He might cry again for the 3rd time, but you're not sure, so you have to beat this incredibly hard game to figure out whether or not he's going to cry. 666 out of 10. Contra for the original NES.
Also, really, that's one of the hardest games of all time. Devil May Cry 3, come on.
Yeah, really, what?
Contra for the NES, it's so manly, it makes you into a man, it makes you turn to a man, it makes you manly, and then you go to the Nicaragua, and then you fight men, and then manliness happens, and then you come Duke Nukem, and it gets 10 out of 10.
I think what she says, Contra!
Why would you do that? Mega Man 9.
Mega Man 9 for Wii, PS3, and 360. You have to invade Wily's castle because you're the most mega of all the Mega Mans, and it's the 9th time you have to do it. 9 out of 10. Teenage Mutant Ninja Gaiden and for the NES.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a game where you're a turtle and it's hard as a turtle. 10 out of 10. Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels for the NES.
This was a cop-out answer. Of course this is hard. It's super hard.
It's hard on purpose.
Super Mario Bros. Out of 10. Ghosts and Goblins for the original NES.
Ghosts and Goblins you can't beat unless you're a ghost or a goblin. So naturally no one's ever beaten it because those 2 things don't exist. But I beat it because I'm a ghostly goblin. I'm on both those football teams. 10 out of 10 for the Battletoads.
Warlords for the Super NES. It's a great game. I actually don't support it at all, and because I'm a proud member of animal rights, and I believe that toad baiting is a sport that needs to be abolished, and I am appalled that it is still a thing in this day and age. 0 out of 10.
We did it.
That's it. We did it again.
Stop. Gah. We'll see you later. Go email us. Bye.
Bye.